quickly, but then trying to avoid D's if possible, and just keep a wide shot.
Avoid what?
Avoid D's if
Oh,
possible.
yeah.
But yeah, that's about it.
But you just, mostly you want the start, right?
He's covering the start, so you'll cover the field.
So, sounds good.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Garnet Sports Network for today's swimming dual meet between the Swarthmore College Garnet and the Gettysburg College Bullets. Should be a competitive one today. Gettysburg, their men's team at least, ranked as the number 25 team in the country, but we'll get things started off with the women's 400-yard medley relay. Gettysburg swimming in the even lanes, and Swarthmore in the odds. Beginning things off in the backstroke for the Garnet, Summer Heidish in lane 7, Stephanie Tilniak in lane 5, Selena Yee in lane 3. 4 laps of each stroke for each swimmer to get things started, and it is senior day here at Tarbell Pavilion, here at Ware Pool. And getting things started for the Garnet, there are a couple of seniors out there right now in Tilniak and Yee. Gettysburg have Rebecca Marinev swimming in lane 6, Hannah Wasson in lane 4, and Chloe Feuderer right now out there in lane 2. So we're into our final lap. Maybe Hannah Wasson just a bit ahead of Yee and Tilniak. And they're in for the breaststroke, and on the pullout, it's Gabby Ma, freshman, taking just the slightest of leads. About a length ahead of Talia Moss right now in lane 4. And now Annabella Boardman, another freshman, swimming in lane 3 for the Garnet, starting to pick up on her as well. And it's neck and neck right now between Boardman and Moss, as Ma continuing to set the pace by just about half a length here. Look at the time. It's only about a tenth of a second separating the swimmers right now. Boardman starting to fight into the lead. That's Liz Gallagher and Alyssa Berman enter the water for the Garnet in the butterfly. Right now, 2 Garnet swimmers out in the lead with just the tiniest of space ahead of Alyssa Clancy. Gallagher maintaining the space right now out in front. And right now it's a battle between Berman and Clancy for second place. Clancy starting to pull ahead, but Gallagher maintaining that pace. Sitting fourth right now, Caitlin Idank in lane 6 for the Bullets. And then lanes 2 and 7 bringing up the tail. And they're in for the anchor leg. Anna Lynn into the water in lane 5 for the Garnet. About a length behind her, Kate Crilly for Gettysburg. And then in lane 3, another length behind Mina Liang, the freshman. Lane continuing to lead out there in lane 5, but Crilly is picking up the pace. Lynn first into the turn, final time down the pool, and then once more back. Can Crilly make a final push? About a 3/4 of a length lead. Lynn into the final turn. And it doesn't look like Crilly will have enough. And the Garnet relay in lane 5 will take first place in a time of 4 minutes and 14 hundredths of a second. Gettysburg's relay in lane 4 in a time of 4:01.77. At Garnet squad in lane 3 in 4:05.11, and then 4th place also belonging to Gettysburg as Reagan Tate gets to the wall. Total time of 4:08.75 for her. And then the lane 2 Gettysburg squad in 5th, the lane 7 Garnet squad in 6th. But here we go, right into the men's 400-yard medley relay. The Garnet at the beginning of this season, and through a couple of rankings, were 16th in the nation. They dropped out in the rankings that came out December 19th, and Gettysburg moved up into 25th place. So a chance today for a win over a nationally ranked opponent in this dual meet. Horace Shue neck and neck into the second lap with Nick Cox for Gettysburg. Jeff Raggett's right there as well. As they're into their third lap. Slightest of leads right now for Cox in lane 4. Sees the first into the turn. Shue right now in second by about a forearm's length. Cox will be first in as Danny Petrillo enters the water. But it's a very strong pullout from Jeremy Rockaway. And he's about even right now with Petrillo. Adam Diaz just behind as well. It's going to be Rockaway the first into the turn as he makes his way down the pool for the second time. Rockaway starting to open up some space right now with a couple of bullets flanking him. Freshman Lonnie Chen waiting to enter for the butterfly. He's first in. And he has staked himself a solid lead thanks to an impressive leg from Jeremy Rockaway. About a length and a half lead for Chen. Jack Edelson, though, starting to cut into it just a bit. Alex Howard following up as well. Ben Freeman, another freshman waiting atop the blocks. As Chen has nearly been caught by Edelson, Freeman is the first in, but Aiden Collins right there along with him. Final 75 yards. And this is about as close as you can get right now between Freeman and Collins. Second time down the pool, the crowd, both teams trying to give their swimmers what they need. Here it is, the final 25 yards. Freeman alongside Collins. Collins maybe starting to pull ahead. First in. And it's Ben Freeman who pulls out the win, 200th of a second. My, you cannot get closer than that. Collins breathing down his neck that entire time, but Ben Freeman somehow able to hold him off over that final about 5-yard stretch and takes the event win for the Garnet. So they open up with 2 wins early on. Gettysburg secures a second and a third place finish in that event as well. So decent showing from them. And we move right along to the women's 1,000-yard freestyle. This, a long race by any standard. 40 laps down the pool. Across the lanes we go. Nearest to you, it's Zoe Myers-Bochner swimming for the Garnet in lane 1. Carly Devine for Gettysburg in lane 2. Liv Stetzer for Swarthmore in lane 3. Lauren Manning for Gettysburg in lane 4. Hannah Klutzer, who has been consistently throughout her career impressive as a long-distance swimmer for the Garnet, has qualified, or did qualify for nationals back in her freshman year, would look to repeat that performance this time around her junior year. Catherine Sears in lane 6 for Gettysburg. Claire Cushing in lane 7 for the Garnet. And then finally Megan Keane in lane 8 for Gettysburg. It's about 3.5 laps elapsed so far. We'll step away and check back in about mid-race. Hannah Klutzer making the turn into her 21st lap right now, setting the pace for Garnet swimmers and all swimmers, but pretty closely matched right now by Lauren Manning. Only about half a second difference between those two swimmers. So it could come down to a pretty close finish here. Lanes 4 and 5 right in the middle of your screen. Interesting tidbit. Academically, of course, Swarthmore known as one of the finest colleges in the country. And the swim teams, both men's and women's, demonstrating that that is the case. Women's swimming, the 4th highest GPA in all of Division III, a 3.69 overall. Men's swimming, well, they were number 1, a 373 GPA, best among all Division III schools. Still about 15 laps down to go. Hannah Klutzer starting to open up a little bit of a lead of Lauren Manning, but still a lot of swimming remains here. About 350 yards left in this one. We'll check back in. Final 3 laps coming up now. Hannah Klutzer in the lead as the bell rings, about a length and a half lead right now. Could see she doesn't use her legs for much of the race, but at the end here you can see Splash is starting to fly behind her as she kicks in to higher gear, seeing if she can hold off Lauren Manning over this final lap. Manning not making it easy for her, but Klutzer had staked herself big enough a lead and comfortably into the wall in 10:49.87. Not particularly close to her career fastest finish, but was never pushed all that strongly in that race. So the Garnet go 2 for 2 in event wins so far. That's important for them. Both of these teams undefeated in Centennial Conference dual meets so far this season. The Garnet 5-0, Gettysburg undefeated overall, 8-0 and 4-0 in conference meets. So whoever wins today could have implications, of course, for national rankings, for honor and pride for the regular season title. Myers-Boschner the last out there. Overall, it's going to be Carly Devine in lane 2 in a time of 11:32.18. Liv Stetzer comes in 4th in 11:10.49. Lauren Manning, second place at 10:51.55. Hannah Klutzer in 10:49.87. Catherine Sears coming in 3rd place at 10:57.11. 11:29.53 for Claire Cushing, and then 11:43.30 for Megan Keene. And finally, Myers-Boschner in 11:59.36. So once again, Gettysburg able to take the 2nd and the 3rd positions in spite of the event win for the Garnet, as the men's 1,000-meter race, 1,000-yard race, I should say, gets underway. Only 5 swimmers in this one. Riley McLaughlin swimming in lane 3. Alex Hatsikos in lane 5. And Jonathan Odeem in lane 7 for the Garnet. And then for Gettysburg, it'll be Duncan Proxmere in lane 4. Oliver Pickering in lane 6. It's going to be Proxmire out to the early lead. Hatsikos right behind him, but we'll check back in later in this race. Swimming not the only teams in action for the Garnet and Gettysburg today. Basketball games going on as well right now. Women's playing right now, the number 22 nationally ranked Gettysburg Bullets taking on the Garnet. It's a close one out there, about midway through the second quarter. Gettysburg up 21-18 at the moment, so that could be a competitive one down the stretch. Men's basketball in action later on here, but checking back into this race, 27th lap right now completed for Duncan Proxmire. Alex Hatsikos midway through his 27th as well. So Proxmire, a comfortable lead right now, more than a lap ahead of his closest Garnet challenger. Oliver Pickering for Gettysburg in lane 6. He's just done with his 28th lap now, close to being lapped actually by Proxmire. And then over in lane 7, Jonathan Odeem through his 25th lap. And Riley McLaughlin just completing his 25th right now for the Garnet in lane 3. So well off the pace, but Proxmire looking dominant through this one as he looks to lock up an event win for Gettysburg. We'll step away. The bell rings for Oliver Pickering as he makes his way down the pool for a final time. It's going to be an interesting battle for second place, however, as Alex Hatsikos, Proxmire making his way now back into the wall to complete this race. It will be done under 10 minutes. But Hatsikos and Pickering now battling for second place as they turn on the afterburners, delving into those last reserves of energy. Hatsikos will hold on and get to the wall in second place. But a pretty comprehensive win for Duncan Proxmire in a time of 9:41.82. It was a good battle down the stretch between Hatsikos and Pickering, but Hatsikos gets in just under 10:04. Either way, though, Gettysburg able to go 1-3 in that event, and that should give them back the lead after 2 here. Garnet were picked to take the Centennial Conference this season, and with a loss to F&M have not managed to stay perfect in the regular season. Now, of course, only thing that really matters in the end is the performance at Centennial Conference Championships, but a win here over Gettysburg today would certainly go a long way to boosting their confidence. And, of course, on the flip side, win by Gettysburg, cementing it would be a quality win for them, even though the Garnet are not ranked at the moment. Still understood on a national level to be a very competitive team, as Odeem and McLaughlin in their 39th laps. Now McLaughlin headed back. He's going to take fourth. Odeem will follow him in fifth. Well, that was 1,000 meters right there. Again, 1,000 yards, I really should say. But how about we change it up, a little something different. 200-yard freestyle races coming up. That'll be followed by a true sprint, the 50-yard freestyle. But first, the women's 200, we have two heats of this. It'll be Johanna Schubert and Danny Gomez swimming for the Garnet in the first heat. Schubert, a freshman, Gomez, a sophomore. And it'll be Schubert in lane 3, Gomez in lane 5. It's a little bit of a friendly race between two teammates. And they're just about even, quarter of the way through this one. Definitely a good meet on the women's side, just as with the men's. Ursinus was picked to take first in the Centennial Conference regular season this year. But the Garnet, they were picked second, and then Gettysburg only a few points behind them for third place. So two pretty evenly matched teams near the top of the Centennial Conference. Danny Gomez, just a bit of a lead at the moment. It's a difference of just about a second as they're into their final time down the pool. So Gomez in at 2:04.90, Schubert at 2:06.01. And that'll bring up our second competitive heat here in the women's race. Swimming for the Garnet in lane 1, freshman Alex Komanichu. In lane 3, sophomore Anna Katakis. In lane 5, sophomore Anna Lynn, who's perhaps the best freestyler on the Garnet roster at the moment. And Abby Goodman, a senior, in lane 7 for Gettysburg. It's going to be Reagan Tate in lane 2, Megan Wajnar in lane 4, Grace Bobeck in 6, and Tess Kasunik in lane 8. Katakis, the slightest of leads at the moment. She's followed up right now by Lynn. Katakis first to the wall. Lynn 11/100th of a second behind her, followed by Megan Wojnar. And it is tight at the top right now, but Lynn inching into the lead, and the time confirms it. Just about a half a second of space right now between her and Wojnar. Katakis bringing up third at the moment, but it's getting close now between Bobek and Katakis for third. Be big for them if the Garnet could go 1-3 here. Lynn, final time down the pool, followed up by Wojnar. Right now, Katakis trailing by 11/100th of a second on Bobek. Lynn, about a body's length lead in the final lap. So it's going to go Lynn 1, Wojnar 2, but the question is here, can Katakis take third? It's Katakis and Bobek, and it is Katakis in third place. So the Garnet, big for them to go 1-3 there. Wojnar sandwiching herself in with a time of 1:58.95. Lynn takes it overall in 1:56.61. That'll set up our men's race. Only one heat this time. Swimming for the Garnet, in lane 3, Ethan Bergman. In lane 5, Ben Freeman. And in lane 7, Jeff Munn. And then, of course, for Gettysburg, Josh Parker in lane 2. Aiden Collins in lane 4. Danny Petrillo in lane 6. Through the first turn, appears to be Ethan Bergman out ahead. First to the wall is actually Danny Petrillo. Really, 5 swimmers about even. Halfway through this race, as Josh Parker starts to pull off the pace. The question is, can somebody make a move? Bergman and Petrillo just ever so slightly in the lead. Ben Freeman, though, right there as well. So is Jeff Munn. So is Aiden Collins. And it's Petrillo who's first into the final turn and that side of the pool. Bergman, 17/100ths of a second behind him. Petrillo makes the turn. Freeman there, pushing. Freeman and Bergman in the sprint. And it looks like Freeman has pulled ahead. Ben Freeman to the wall. And he got it. Ben Freeman in 1:44.01. And once again, it's 200th of a second separating first from second. Ben Freeman, 1:44.01. Aiden Collins, 1:44.03. And then Danny Petrillo, though, able to lock up a third place finish. So in spite of the Garnet win in that event, Gettysburg still able to go 2-3. Anytime the Garnet have come out with a win, it seems Gettysburg has been able to lock up the next 2 spots. And not surrender very many points in the process. But we're getting a true sprint this time. It's the women's 50-yard. Lauren Strachan, lane 1. Riley Thompson, lane 3. Delaney Adams, lane 4. Alyssa Berman, lane 5. Kira O'Brien, lane 6. Barbara Fitzsimmons, lane 7. In this first heat of 2. And it appears to be Alyssa Berman in the lead. Only a few seconds remaining in this one. Berman is going to win the first heat, 26-10, she takes it. And then 27-56 for Riley Thompson. Question is, how will those times hold up? In lane 2, the winning time there, 26-10. But now the second women's heat. Ella Yadov swimming for the Garnet in lane 1. Liz Gallagher for the Garnet in lane 3. Saya Valls in lane 5. A senior Steph Tilniak in lane 7. And then for Gettysburg, Katie Cooper in lane 2. Kate Crilly in lane 4. Kate Costco in lane 6. Sarah Fravel. So in lane 8, I should say. So the battle of 3 Kates out there. Maybe a slight lead for Saya Valls. She's got Kate Crilly right alongside her. It's between Valls and Crilly. It's going to be a photo finish once again. Who's in? It's Saya Valls in 24:73. A tenth of a second behind her is Kate Crilly. And then Ella Yadov able to lock up a third place finish for the Garnet, swimming out of lane 1. So able to go 1-3 in that event. Men's 50-yard now. 2 heats here as well. A couple of Gettysburg swimmers first up. Ethan Brumer swimming in lane 4. Christian Tolino in lane 6. Brumer and Tolino just about dead even in this one. And it is Brumer coming in first. But I imagine those times won't stand up here in the second heat of men. Swimming for the Garnet, in lane 1, Andrew Sung. Lane 3, Lonnie Chen. In lane 5, Alec Lawless. And in lane 7, John Gray Crosby. And then for Gettysburg, it's Jeff Raggets in lane 2, Oliver Yancey in lane 4, Brian Berry in lane 6, Harrison McCool in lane 8. That's a great name right there for the Gettysburg swimmer at the top of your screen. So they get set. Eighth event of the day, it's Oliver Yancey out first, and he's got a lead. Look at Yancey fly down the pool. Lawless trying to stick with him. But Yancey flying in and taking that event. Time of 21:23, absolute sprint. Lawless is going to come in second at 21:42. And then it's Jeff Raggets finishing in third. 200-yard individual medley next on the docket. Two laps of butterfly, 2 laps of backstroke, 2 of breaststroke. And finally, a 50-yard freestyle sprint, to conclude this race. Quick update from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Women's basketball remains a tight contest out there between the Garnet and the Bullets. It's 35-29 in favor of Gettysburg with 1 half down. So we'll keep our eye on that game as we follow along here as well. Appears to be Gabby Ma out ahead at the moment on her second lap of backstroke, swimming in lane 7 for the Garnet. Swimmers are, for the Garnet, Kyla Halam in lane 1, Selena Yee in lane 3, Sophia Lee in lane 5, and Gabby Ma in lane 7. And for Gettysburg, Caitlin Idank in lane 2, Talia Moss in lane 4, Annabelle Gorman in lane 6, and Skylar Shaffritz in lane 8. Ma and Halam leading the way at the moment on the breaststroke. A 50-yard sprint to the finish, all that remains here. Ma continuing to lead the way. Halam right now in second, and it appears to be Lee in third place. Yee right there as well. Ma is going to hold on for the win, and she's followed by Halam and then Sophia Lee in third. The Garnet sweeping the podium spots in the 100 IM for women's. A great performance in that race. Gabby Ma took the lead from the beginning and never relinquished it as she gets an event win. Men's IM to follow. For Gettysburg, swimming in lane 2, Zach Evans, Sam Nunmaker in lane 4, Adam Diaz in lane 6, and Alex Howard in lane 8. For the Garnet, Aiden Wong in lane 1, Alec Menzer in lane 3, Jeremy Rockaway and in lane 5, and Dylan Torrance in lane 7. Menzer and Rockaway really the two swimmers for the Garnet to look out for in this one. And it appears to be Menzer opening up a little bit of space right now. They make the turn into backstroke. Rockaway and Menzer 1-2 at the moment. And they're followed, it appears, by Nunmaker, but Aiden Wong pretty close as well to a third place spot. Rockaway and Menzer maintaining the lead into breaststroke. Wong and Nunmaker just about even, fighting for third place right now. And they're cheering on Wong right now, though he's starting to fall off the pace. It's Rockaway out in front, 50 meters of freestyle to go. Menzer in second, Nunmaker in third as Wong has fallen back. Nunmaker still fighting, but Rockaway is in for a first place. Menzer takes second, and then Nunmaker in third. So the Garnet able to go 1-2. And actually, as Wong fell off the pace there, it's Dylan Torrance moving up to take a fourth place finish. But either way, the Garnet able to go 1-2, and that's going to bring us to our first break in this competition. It'll be about 15 minutes, and we'll be right back here. My name is Jacob Brady. You're watching Swimming on the Garnet Sports Network. Now, the lead for the Garnet. As we get set for the men's 100-yard butterfly, Luke Wong in lane 1 for the Garnet, Lonnie Chen lane 3, Jeremy Rockaway in lane 5, Aiden Wong in lane 7, and then for Gettysburg, Broomer in lane 2, Jack Edelson lane 4, Brian Berry lane 6, and Oliver Pickering in lane 8. Rockaway with the lead into the turn, followed closely by Jack Edelson. It appears third place right now belongs to Lonnie Chen. Into the turn, Rockaway. Edelson making it a close one, but Rockaway will hold on for the win, so another event win for the Garnet. Lonnie Chen gets third place. Garnet go 1-3 in that one, split by Jack Edelson. So a good result once again as they stretch their lead in all likelihood just a bit. Brings us to the 13th event of the day, the women's 100-yard freestyle. It's again 2 heats for the women. Zoe Myers-Botchner and Barbara Fitzsimmons out there for the Garnet lanes 3 and 5 respectively. Delaney Adams in lane 4 for Gettysburg and Kira O'Brien in lane 6 for the Bullets. Early lead for Delaney Adams, though it is only a 4-lap race, so an early lead could very well prove to be decisive. Adams maintaining second and third right now, belonging to Fitzsimmons and Myers-Botchner respectively. Adams remains out in front into her final lap. Fitzsimmons turning it on, trying to make a move here at the end. Can she catch up? Yes, she can. 6/100ths of a second. Fitzsimmons over the final lap, basically canceling out a body length lead for Delaney Adams. And taking the first heat. Again, I imagine none of those times will pass muster in the second heat, as we've got a full race here. Liv Stetzer for the Garnet in lane 1, Ella Yadav in lane 3, Saya Vols lane 5, Mina Liang lane 7, and then for Gettysburg, Reagan Tate in lane 2, Kate Crilly in lane 4, Kate Costco in lane 6, and Grace Bobeck in lane 8. And they're off and already most of the way down the pool. First into the turn looks to be Kate Crilly, I should say. But now maybe Saya Vols pulling into the lead. First to touch is Crilly by 1/100th of a second over Vols as they continue to battle right in the middle of your screen, lanes 4 and 5. Yadav right there and well, looks to be in third place at the moment. It's going to be a sprint to the finish. Crilly alongside Vols. Oh, Crilly now increasing that stroke output. Look to be pulling ahead, and she does finish in first. Over the final 10 meters or so, turning it on and winning by 2/400ths of a second. Garnet go 2-3 with Yadav finishing third. And right along we go to the men's version of this event. Patrick Keogh for the Garnet in lane 1, Ethan Bergman lane 3, Alec Lawless lane 5, John Gray Crosby lane 7. And then for Gettysburg, it's Zach Evans in lane 2, Oliver Yancey in lane 4, and Sam Nunmaker in lane 6. And they're away. It's a good pullout for Yancey as he has a lead, but two great swimmers on either side of him in Bergman and Lawless. It's Lawless fighting maybe into first place now. We'll see what the times say. It is Lawless ahead by 1800ths of a second. Here goes Lawless, neck and neck with Yancey. Into the final turn. Bergman right now bringing up third. Right behind is Sam Nunmaker. Lawless and Yancey down the stretch. Who can pull it out? It's Alec Lawless by a tenth of a second, 47-17. His finish, taking first place for the Garnet. Yancey does get a podium spot in second place, and then Ethan Bergman completes the event. Third place for the Garnet, fourth belonging to Sam Nunmaker, only 700th of a second behind. Great finish there as Alec Lawless fights all the way to take the medal for the Garnet. Hundred-yard backstroke up next. Two heat for the women. It's Laura Strackens in lane 1, Danny Gomez in lane 3, Johanna Schubert in lane 5, and then Summer Heidish lane 7. And then for Gettysburg, only one representative in this heat. It's Megan Keene swimming right in the middle of the four Garnet swimmers. Schubert apparently in first at the moment, though not far in front of Danny Gomez. Schubert into the turn, slightest of leads. It's a good pullout though from Gomez. Oh, Schubert takes it in 103.46. Gomez following at 104.60. Summer Heidish in at 106.05. Megan Keene in at 107.46. And then Laura Strachan at 111.62. Second heat now of the women. Swimming for the Garnet, Selena Yee in lane 1, Steph Tilniak lane 3, Anna Katakis in lane 5, Alex Komanichu in lane 7. For Gettysburg, Chloe Feuderer in lane 2, Hannah Wasson in lane 4, Skylar Schaffritz lane 6, Gabby Barbieri in lane 8. Two seniors for the Garnet swimming out there in lanes 1 and 3 in Tilniak and Yee. It appears to be Tilniak in the lead. Long kick out for her makes it nearly halfway down the pool. Tilniak into the turn. Back down the pool for the second time. It's Tilniak still out in front. Final turn for her. Tilniak holding on to the lead. Katakis looks to be in third with Wasson between them. It's Tilniak in. Yee might have made it. She did in third, just edging out So it's Tilniak 1, Yee 3, Wasson 2. It appears that Katakis may not have touched the finishing pad strong enough, as I'm pretty sure she was in fourth, either fourth or fifth place, and didn't end for about 4 seconds. Either way, we're into the men's 100-yard backstroke. Michael Yan in lane 1 for the Garnet. Dylan Torrance lane 3. Horseshoe lane 5. Alex Hatsikos lane 7. And then for Gettysburg, Tolino in lane 2. Cox lane 4. Raggets in lane 6. And it's Cox out in front. Shoe right alongside him into the turn. Cox first there. Shoe and Raggets now battling for second place. Can Shoe get in the middle there? It's going to be Cox in first. Shoe to the wall. Got it. Second place for Horace Shoe as he extended as far as he could there. I think that Raggets had just a little bit on him there, but threw himself at the wall, extending as far as he could, and ended up taking second place. Brings us into the 500-yard freestyle, another long distance affair out there. Swimming for the Garnet, lane 1 is Claire Cushing. Lane 3, Hannah Klutzer. Lane 5, Anna Lynn. And Abby Goodman in lane 7 for Gettysburg. Catherine Sears in lane 2. Lauren Manning in lane 4. Megan Wajnar in lane 6. Carly Devine in lane 8. Hannah Klutzer already an event win today. Took the 1,000-yard freestyle. Believe Anna Lynn took the 200-yard freestyle. So a couple of already event winners out there for the Garnet as they get underway. 20 laps to swim here as they're down the pool for the first time. It's interesting, the 500-yard race. It's sort of in the middle of the middle distance towards long distance events. See Hannah Klutzer, long distance specialist. 1,000, 1,650 more her events, but will also swim the 500. And then on the flip side of that, Anna Lynn, who prefers, your 100, 200 distance, but also creeping up into this 500. So not quite your long, certainly shorter than your average long distance race, longer than your standard middle distance. It is Lynn in first by a little bit at the moment, and we will step away, join you back closer to the end of this one. Another interesting thing about the 500, you don't see the kind of separation that you get in the 1,000-meter race, you know. By the end of that race, you end up with 2, maybe 3 people on the lead pace. Right now, with about 4 laps to go, 5 swimmers on that lead pace. Catherine Sears, Hannah Kletzer, Lauren Manning, Anna Lynn, and Megan Wajnar all up there, all competing right now for a podium spot. It is Lynn right now in first place. Though Wajnar is right behind her. Kletzer in a battle for third right now. Third place is currently held, though, by Catherine Sears. And the bells go ring, signaling our last time down and back for all these swimmers. We'll see if Kletzer has enough left in her tank to possibly make a move into third place. Sees that Sears is right ahead of her. Lynn is going to hold on, it appears, for first place. Second is going to go to Megan Wajnar. How will third shake out? It's going to go to Sears as she beats out Hannah Kletzer by less than half a second. So Anna Lynn gets the event win, but a 2-3 finish for Gettysburg. Sets up event number 18, the men's version, the 500-yard freestyle. Swimming for Gettysburg, lane 2 brings us Josh Parker, Duncan Proxmire in lane 4, Oliver Pickering in lane 6. For the Garnet, it's Jeff Munn in lane 3, Alec Menzer in lane 5, and Jonathan O'Deem in lane 7. Just as with this women's event, I imagine this will be competitive right to the end. It is Duncan Proxmire out in front at the moment, but Menzer right behind him, Pickering there as well. We'll step away, check back in later on in this race. Still a lot of swimming left. Quick update from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The Bullets up 70-52 over the Garnet in that women's basketball game. It'll be interesting to see how things shake out for the Centennial Conference women's basketball tournament picture. Right now, Gettysburg in first place, and with a win today, they'll go to 14-0 in conference play, 18-1 overall. The Garnet, though, sitting in fourth right now, just ahead of Dickinson. And they'll have a chance to certainly make the tournament, potentially host a 4-5 playoff game for the first time in a while. Checking back in here, though, hasn't been quite as close as we might have expected as the bell rings, signaling final 2 lengths of the pool for Duncan Proxmire. Was dominant in his win in the thousands, and maybe not quite as comfortable, but definitely not pushed much in this 500. Alec Menzer is going to come in second, about a half length of the pool behind him, but a battle now going on for third. Jeff Munn against Pickering, and Jeff Munn got it. 0.04 of a second separating him and Oliver Pickering. It's enough to give him a third place finish. So the Garnet go 2-3. And that'll bring us to our second break of the day. Only 4 events remaining: the 100-yard breaststrokes and then the 400-yard freestyle rally. That's always a joy to watch at the end of competition. We'll be back about 10 minutes. You're watching SWAT Swimming on the Garnet Sports Network. 4 events remaining here, 2 each for the men's, 2 each for the women. It will be women up here first in the women's 100-yard breaststroke. Riley Thompson and Daniela Kim out there swimming for the Garnet in this first heat. Now the Garnet in women's lead 112 to 57. There are only 36 more points up for grabs, which means that they have mathematically locked up the win here today. Let's go give Gettysburg their first loss of the season, and will keep the Garnet undefeated in Centennial Conference dual meets. Now on the men's side, things quite a bit closer. Right now, it's 89 to 80 in favor of the Garnet. And again, those 36 points up for grabs, which means that there are a lot of ways that this could end up, and it's likely going to come down to the final men's 400-yard freestyle relay. And the Garnet fielding 3 teams in that one. Gettysburg only fielding 2, so at least giving themselves a bit of a numerical advantage there. As the second heat of the 100-yard breaststroke steps up. For the Garnet, Kyla Halam in lane 1, then Gabby Ma in lane 3, Annabella Boardman lane 5, Sophia Lee in lane 7, and for Gettysburg, it's Alyssa Clancy in lane 2, Talia Moss lane 4, Katie Cooper lane 6, Annabelle Gorman in lane 8. And it's Ma out in front, swimming in lane 3. Boardman in second. Here's Ma, makes her final turn. Boardman as well. Third and fourth right now belong to Katie Cooper and Talia Moss. And it's going to be Ma in first. Second place goes to Annabella Boardman. So just a little bit of icing on top there. The Garnet 14 points out of that event. And they extend their lead by another 11. And now, the men's race. 19 big points up for grabs. And this one, again, just a 9-point lead for the Garnet heading into these last 2 events. Stephen Chen in lane 1, Luke Wong in lane 3, Horace Shu lane 5, Andrew Sung lane 7. And then for Gettysburg, Adam Diaz lane 2, Oliver Yancey lane 4, Sam Nunmaker lane 6, and Zach Evans in lane 8. And they're off early lead for Yancey. Yancey staying out in front. Shu and Wong flanking him. Second time down the pool. Yancey maintaining the lead. And now they're into the turn. Yancey still out in front. It looks like the Garnet will be able to lock up second and third. Here they go. Yancey in at 1, Shu in, then Wong. Fourth place is going to go to Adam Diaz. Andrew Sung comes in 5th. So the lead for the Garnet at 6. Standing going into the final event. We'll have the women's 400-yard freestyle relay first. But as it works out, the Garnet could lose. As long as they take 2nd and 3rd, they should still get a 1-point win. A win would mathematically secure it no matter what. First, women's 400-yard freestyle relay. Four relays out there for each team. As always, Swarthmore in the odds, Gettysburg in the evens, going from bottom to top on your screen. Ella Yadav first off the wall on her 2nd time down the pool. Yadav starting to open up a lead. Right now it appears 2nd place is held by Alex Komanichu in lane 3. Yadav continuing to the wall, and that's going to put Anna Katakis in the water. Here's Katakis, strong in lane 5. Pretty impressive contingent in that top relay for the Garnet. Yadav, Katakis, Liang, and then Vols anchoring it. 2nd place now with the Gettysburg relay in lane 6. Tess Kasanich putting the bullets there. So really a 3-person race for 2nd right now. And perhaps Danny Gomez pushing up into the 2nd place spot. Either way, it's Katakis with a big lead now as Liang enters the water. Very quick with her strokes. As Kate Costco moves into 2nd in that lane 4 relay. Liang, about a 10-yard lead, still a close battle for 2nd place. Liv Stetzer fighting alongside Kate Costco and Caitlin Idank. Let's go come down to the anchor leg here to figure out that 2nd place spot. Vols into the water on her senior day, looking to wrap up a final event win for the Garnet women. Megan Wajnar got a great jump and is now comfortably in 2nd place. Vols into her turn. And she's actually starting to creep up just a bit on Cy Vols. I imagine the lead significant enough that it will not be surmounted. That certainly appears to be the case. But Megan Wajnar swims a great anchor leg for Gettysburg, pushes her relay to 2nd. Pardon me, that's actually Grace Boback swimming there. In lane 4 to get the same place. Wajnar in lane 6 with a 3rd place finish. Barbara Fitzsimmons coming into the wall for the Garnet, as is Chloe Feuderer. And that concludes our women's meet. The Garnet remain undefeated in conference dual meet, and also drop Gettysburg for the first time this season. And here we go, the event to decide it's all, the men's 400-yard freestyle relay. If my math is correct, the Garnet currently with 97 points and Gettysburg with 91. So again, finishing second and third here, but surrendering first would secure them a win by 1 point. But I imagine that's not something they want to leave to chance. Aiden Wong, Ben Freeman, and Riley McLaughlin out there right now for the Garnet. Nick Cox and Aiden Collins for Gettysburg. And right now it's Aiden Collins with the lead for that fourth place for that lane 4 Gettysburg relay. Freeman in second and Gettysburg holding on to third thanks to Nick Cox out in lane 6. And the two flanking relays for the Garnet are starting to drop back, and that could pose trouble if the Garnet cannot pull out the win here. But here comes Alec Lawless into the water. Lawless flying down the pool. Any sort of lead that Collins held is gone. It's Lawless fighting right now with Danny Petrillo out in front. Lawless has the lead by about 0.2 of a second. Lawless and Petrillo battling. As Proxmire starts to fall off the base, here comes Lawless. Into the wall. It's a great jump for Ethan Bergman. Timed that perfectly, and he's first out of the blocks. Bergman now battling with Brian Berry. Here they go, neck and neck. Slight lead for Ethan Bergman. Into the turn they go. 1/4 of a second, the difference here between that lane 4 and lane 5 relay. And with the two Garnet relays, other than their lane 5 dropping off the pace, they need to win it. There is no option, and it's going to come down to this. Alec Menzer swimming the anchor leg for the Garnet, and he'll have to hold off Jack Edelson. Here goes Lawless. Here goes Menzer alongside Ellison. They hit the turn. Menzer out first. He's got about a head lead. Menzer into the wall first. 34/100th of a second ahead. Here he goes. Look at Alec Menzer flying down the pool. Into the turn. It looks like he's got it. A half body's length lead now. Menzer. Can he hold off Berry? Yes, he can. Alec Menzer wins it for the Garnet. 11 points, and that will secure them a win over Gettysburg, the previously undefeated and number 25 nationally ranked Gettysburg Bullets will fall for the first time this season as Alec chants go up from the crowd here in Ware Pool. Alec Menzer coming up the hero for the Garnet today, securing 11 points, and they will win it 108-97. It came down to those last two events, but Alec Menzer pulling it off on the anchor lap to give the Garnet a huge win over Gettysburg. So that'll conclude action here today from Ware Pool, the last home meet for the Garnet of the 2019-20 season. Both men's and women's teams coming away victorious over the previous nationally ranked Gettysburg College Bullets. We hope that you'll continue to watch some Gettysburg and Swarthmore action today. Men's basketball just about tipping off right now out in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. You can head over to Gettysburg Athletics website to catch that game. But for now, this is Jacob Brady saying have a good afternoon.